Have you ever sat through a movie that made you laugh, cringe, and feel uncomfortable all at the same time? Well, that's what The Menu from 2022 does to me. Directed by Mark Mylod, it stars Ray Fiennes, Anya Taylor-Joy, and Nicholas Hoult. In a film that's part dark comedy, part horror, and part social satire. On the surface, it just looks like a movie that's about fine dining. But underneath, it's a really sharp critique of wealth, status, obsession, and the way people just consume art. And somehow, it manages to make a cheeseburger one of the most satisfying scenes I've seen in cinema in recent years. So let's dive into 2022's The Menu. The story follows Tyler and Margot as they travel to an exclusive private island to dine at the exclusive restaurant called Hawthorne, a world-famous restaurant run by the celebrity chef Julian Slowik, played brilliantly by Ray Fiennes. Each one of these guests that travel to the island has paid $1,000 to experience a once-in-a-lifetime culinary experience. And for the very beginning of the movie, it seems like a very sophisticated and normal restaurant. It's very nice looking, it's very elegant, everything seems normal. Until it becomes very clear that Chef Slowik has something far more disturbing in mind for his guests that night. And trust me, this is one of those films that going into it, the less you know, the better. This is definitely one of those films that when you're experiencing it for the first time, the reveals hit harder, so much harder, if you're experiencing it for the very first time. The real standout performance here is Ray Fiennes as Chef Slowik. He is one of the best actors of the 21st century. He's calm, he's very polite, he's extremely composed, he's organized, and that makes him all the more terrifying when you start to see what he's about to do. He never raises his voice, and that feels very deliberate. Every word he says is very deliberate. Every look, every movement feels so calculated. You really get this sense that he is extremely in control of the entire situation from the very first moment he steps foot on screen. What's really fascinating is that Chef Slowik is not just portrayed as a traditional villain. Yes, he is angry, he is bitter, and he is disappointed. But underneath all of that is a man who once truly loved what he did. And that simple tragedy and sadness to his character is what makes his character so good in this film, and far more interesting if he was just simply evil for evil's sake. What makes The Menu so effective is that it's not simply just about food. Food is just the vehicle. The real target of the satire of this film is the obsession. This film takes shots at wealthy elites who treat art as just a status symbol. It criticizes influencers who consume experiences simply just for the appearance of it. It also mocks critics who hold extreme power over other creators. And it even takes aim at the fans who believe their admiration somehow entitles them to ownership over the artist's work. Nobody in this film gets off easy in any way whatsoever, and that's what makes this film so entertaining. It constantly pokes fun at every single individual sitting at the table. Visually, The Menu is absolutely stunning. Every dish looks like it just belongs in an art gallery. The cinematography emphasizes symmetry, precision, and control. Everything is meticulously arranged, from the staff, to the dishes, to the ingredients, and even the movement of the staff throughout the kitchen, to the point where the restaurant itself almost feels like a prison disguised as luxury. It's beautiful, expensive, and somehow deeply unsettling at the same time. This presentation mirrors Chef Slowik's personality almost perfectly. Every single little detail is perfectly controlled. While Ray Fiennes dominates this film, Anya Taylor-Joy serves as the audience's anchor. Margot doesn't really belong in this world. She's not obsessed with status or money or wealth. She isn't pretending to understand things that she doesn't. She's practical. She's real. She's very direct. And because of that, she sees through the illusion that everyone else is blind to. The conflict between Margot and Slowik becomes the emotional core of this film. Both of these characters understand something that all the other guests just don't. One has become trapped by art, and the other sees the value in simplicity. And that emotional core, that clash, is what drives the third act. Now, without getting into any major spoilers, I have to talk about the infamous cheeseburger scene. Because ultimately, it's not just a cheeseburger, it's the whole point of the movie. Throughout this entire film, we see all these characters completely obsess over elaborate creations. Dishes become performances, experiences become a status symbol, and the food itself has become unrecognizable. And then comes the cheeseburger. It's simple, it's honest, it's unpretentious, and it reminds people of why they fall in love with things in the first place. Whether it's food, movies, music, art, sometimes the simplest version of the thing that we like is the one that connects us the most. That's why this scene works so incredibly well. It is a complete summarization of this entire film. Now, while I do really love this film, I think it is damn near perfect. If I had to give one criticism, I would say that sometimes the social commentary or the social satire is a little heavy-handed. Now, it's no mystery that this film's themes are not really subtle. Certain characters exist as just symbols rather than being real people, but I think that's very intentional for what this story is trying to tell. The menu functions as kind of a dark fairy tale. All the guests represent is just different versions of modern culture, and because of that, realism isn't really the goal, it's the message. The Menu is one of those rare films that is entertaining, thought-provoking, tense, disturbing, and funny all in one package. It's a horror movie that's more interested in its themes and its ideas than it is jump scares. A comedy that's genuinely clever and a satire that actually has something to say. At its core, this film is about losing that passion that made us want to be creative in the first place, and how easy it is for passion to slowly become performance. If you haven't seen it yet, I highly recommend you watch The Menu, and I highly recommend you go in as blind as possible. Because The Menu isn't about just horror and serving dinner, it's one of the most unique horror experiences of the 21st century. I'm going to give The Menu a 4.5 out of 5. Have you seen The Menu? If you have, let me know down in the comments below what you thought of it. Did you side with Chef Slowik or did you side with Margot? Anyway, thank you for watching, I'll see you on the next video, and remember, stay spooky.